There may be some here today that will be homosexual in the future. There are a lot of kids here. There may be some girls that'll turn lesbian. We don't know. But it's serious. Don't kid yourselves about it. They can be anywhere. They can be judges, lawyers. We ought to know we've arrested all of them.
My name is Kelsey Leone. I'm 18 years old, and I'm gay.
Steve Kamoulis, 38 years old, gay.
I am the mother of Kelsey Leone.
I am Stephen Kamoulis' mother.
I knew I didn't like boys when I was in preschool. When I was 4 years old, I had a crush on one of my best friends, and she was a girl, but I described myself as gay when I was in 6th grade.
I didn't know for sure. I always said I wouldn't be surprised if she was, and I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't.
It's just one of those things you always know. You start out knowing is that you're different.
A mother always knows about her child. I knew that there was something different about him.
I really knew because I cared a lot about my friends that were girls more than a friend should.
People always ask me. And that's why the one thing that I will never do is ask someone, because it drives you crazy. Because if you're not ready to say it, if you're not ready to come out, then you don't want to.
I would say to him, you know, Steve, if you're gay or there's something you want to tell me about yourself, just know I'm your mother and I will always love you no matter what. Mothers love unconditionally. But it wasn't the time. He wasn't ready.
Before I came out, it was difficult because I went to a private school and it wasn't the most accepting school, so keeping myself hidden was pretty hard. I came out to this girl, Sarah Zilka, who was one of my best friends in middle school in 7th grade. They were really okay with it. They were supportive. They were just happy I was happy.
I came out in 2005. I was 27. I had just moved out of my parents' house, and I started to feel this certain air of like, why bother, who cares? It's funny. Everything in my life goes back to movies. Netflix had a whole bunch of gay-themed movies. Then when I started buying my own cable bill, you know, I had Logo TV, and they had a bunch of TV shows and movies and things that were themed about being comfortable with yourself and coming out. And that is really what pushed me out of the closet. Being inspired by other people's stories and being inspired by movies really helped me. The first person I came out to was one of my friends. And he's like, yeah, I know. So what? Let's go. That was it.
I started off with my parents, and I told them through a text message after they dropped me off at hockey.
So I immediately pulled over to read the text, and when I saw it, I was just shocked that she told me that way, but I felt relieved that she did tell us. It meant that, you know, she was comfortable with us and with us knowing, so I did feel happy that she felt that she can come to us with this.
I told my sisters, but everyone in my family pretty much knew without me telling them. They were really happy and just supportive.
I did it just one night after dinner with my parents.
He said, I have something to tell you. And he said to me, Mom, I'm gay. And I looked at him and I said, well, it's about time. And at that moment, I felt extreme relief that my child, first of all, trusted me to finally tell me and could finally be himself.
The tough people were my parents and one of my best friends. My parents, because I'm the only boy, I'm expected to, you know, carry on that tradition, carry on that name, and it's not gonna happen.
I remember saying to my husband, you have two choices, to stay or to leave, because either way, he's my child and I'm going to help him have a happy life. My husband the next morning called me on the phone and he said to me, I don't want you to think that I don't love my son. And he began choking up. He said, I love my son. He said, but I'm afraid of how other people are going to react to him.
For my friend, it was because he's a hyper-masculine, very conservative Republican. He was the hardest one. And when I told him, he just laughed and he's like, yeah, okay, I know. And he was the last person I told, honestly.
Middle of junior year, I cut all my hair off. I've always wanted to cut my hair for a while. And then one day, I just kind of went with my friend and I told my mom I was going to her house. And then we went to the place and I just kind of chopped all my hair up. I didn't know what it was gonna look like, but I just kind of did it. It made me a million times more happy since I cut my hair off.
I felt like she didn't know what she was doing, but as soon as I saw how happy she was, I realized that was the best thing for her. She took control over who she was.
I had to do a project. You had to put things people didn't know about you on the inside and things people knew about you on the outside. And I put a rainbow flag on the outside. And I said, if you all didn't know I was gay, then your gaydar sucks.
One of the most difficult things was being okay with it, being out at work and being out specifically because I'm a teacher. People are out at work and it's a different type of thing. But when you're out as a teacher, you have an extra stigma on you. You have an extra expectation that other professions don't. So you're always under a magnifying glass. And I've had parents who have said things to their kids and their kids tell me that, you know, I think your history teacher is gay, but I'm not okay with that. Just watch yourself. But you know, like this is the type of people you're working with and the type of profession you're in.
Look beyond what you're seeing in front of you, and instead look how he's caring about your child. We need not only diversity of color, but diversity of sexual orientation, and we are slowly getting it. So wake up world, wake up parents. This is reality. There's a population here that needs somebody like him.
It's also been the best because then you can inspire kids and make kids feel that it's okay to be who they are.
I'm currently in a relationship and it's the most amazing thing ever. And she makes me happy every day. We're just as comfortable as any straight couple would be, hold hands, things like that.
So I'm married. I got married this October 8th. We met in July of 2010.
I think my biggest fear in life was that he would be alone. He's found a partner. I love Paul with all my heart. He's been the perfect fit for our family. And now even my husband jokes that he always wanted an Italian son-in-law, and now he's got one.
When I got married, it really solidified because the overwhelmingly positive reception I got from my colleagues, my students, past and present, that was when it was really valid for me because it's still something that a part of society doesn't feel is okay.
My concern is that a lot of people aren't as accepting as we are, and I was concerned for her safety. And over the past couple of years, I see that it's really not kids and teenagers that are mean and cruel and unaccepting. It's adults and other parents.
I had the advantage of coming at that time because every year it gets more and more acceptable in society. So I'm pretty lucky to be able to tell everyone who I am in this decade.
When I grew up, homosexuality was nowhere. When I was in high school is when Ellen came out, and that was met with great reception, but it was also met with great blowback. It was bad, but it was also great, you know, and you hung on to that because after that came Will and Grace. So that's the lucky part that I always tell all of my students is that it's everywhere. There would never have been a cable channel that was a gay-themed cable channel when I was 16. Never, ever. It is not a choice. It is not a choice.
I think I was born this way because things like that aren't just a phase. It's just a part of your life.
I always say it's the choice of society. It's the choice of the government. It's the choice of your family to accept you for who you are. That's the choice. That's the choice. You be who you are, but let them choose.